So I would like to welcome everybody to our faculty meeting, and it gives me great pleasure because this is a very exciting moment. All 12 of these students have really displayed over the last 4 years just what it means to be a Rodriguez High School student. So now here's their big day where they're going to be in front of all of their teachers, faculty, and staff, and they're going to tell you what Rodriguez High School has meant to them. And at the end of the day, you're going to vote for one of them who will be our senior of the year. And that will be our student of the year representing Rodriguez High School. All 12 of these students are wonderful students. They have great character, great school pride, hardworking, academically sound, and just truly a blessing to have at Rodriguez High School. So they're going to start with their speeches, and if you could give them your just undivided attention, just like we are in the classroom with them. They're going to be looking at you. Some of them may be nervous and some of them may be not, but this time they're now going to give you their student speech. I'd like to call forward our first student, Mr. Andrew Ammerman. Yeah, sure.
Hi, I'm Andrew Ammerman. I'd like to present this speech to you. During our time at Rodriguez, each one of us has had to overcome some sort of personal or academic challenges. When I think of my biggest challenge, I think of tying knots. Tying my shoelaces, tying a fishing line, and tying a tie are all things that most fathers teach their children. All of my life, I've had a lack of individuals I call family. My father left my mother and me when I was just 3 years old, and my mother worked full-time, so I was left to my own devices to solve my own challenges and much more. Throughout this time, I felt lost. I had no one to guide me through my tough times and no one to congratulate me during my best times. My home never felt complete. I knew something was missing. This changed when I became a Mustang. I found a sense of family here at Rodriguez. I came to the realization that family is not only one's relatives, but it is the people that surround you with kindness, positivity, and acceptance. On my first day at Rodriguez High School, I joined the football team and immediately found a sense of family. I felt changed, included, and comforted. My teammates and coaches made me feel like I had a purpose not only on the field, but in life as well. I learned perseverance, respect, dedication, teamwork, and pride. I started to trust them and accept their guidance. Through football, I became a good teammate, a tough opponent, a better leader, and basically a happier, more caring, confident person. After that, I dove headfirst into all RHS student activities, which include baseball, powder puff, rallies, link crew, spirit weeks, dances, Friday night events, sports days, clubs, leadership, tennis, and a whole lot more. I felt at home in a place with people that I grew to love and rely on. During my sophomore and senior years, I became football team captain. I won the Lineman of the Year award and obtained all-league MAL awards my junior and senior years. I challenged myself in school by taking AP classes each year with my ultimate goal of getting straight A's. I joined leadership positions so I could further encourage my peers, becoming a mentor to younger football players and a link leader to incoming freshmen. I found pride in doing my best, supporting others, and celebrating their achievements. I was able to thrive at Rodriguez, so it quickly became the home I never had. I am filled with gratitude, and I know I am ready to take on any challenge that lies in front of me. At this time, I would like to recognize some people that were especially influential to me. Thanks to Mr. Myers for bringing a group of people together who are just as crazy as me about sports to compete in our fantasy sports club. Thanks to Mr. Sagan for reminding me to always remain positive and yelling good morning at me every single day. Thanks to Ms. Hernandez for teaching me that there's art in every living thing. Thanks to Levinger for teaching me the importance of leadership. Thanks to Mr. B for teaching me that it's okay to have bad days. And thanks to all of you for accepting me into the Mustang family. Through being a Mustang, I discovered who I really am, made a family, and finally found a place where I belong. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. At this time, Andrew is going to now go to his next event, which is tennis. So I just wanted to say he's moving out. And now for our next Student of the Year nominee, Mr. Jackson Al-Bashir.
Hi, my name's Jackson. As I wrote this speech, I looked back to the things I've done and accomplished and realized that without Rodriguez, I would not be able to be standing where I am today. When I started the 9th grade, I was your typical freshman, smaller and kind of quiet. Not that My first real taste of this strange place was orientation. The school seemed huge, I was introduced to so many new faces, and I was tossed into a world I was completely unfamiliar with. The energy of the school was beautiful then, and I felt welcomed by all the people at orientation, coming up and asking me if I was interested in playing sports, asking me what my hobbies were, or if I was excited for high school. But I was still super scared. I was just an introverted little kid. I decided to join leadership on a whim, and instantly it opened so many doors in my life. My 4 friends, who I had hung out with all throughout middle school, expanded. I was pushed to go to school events, and I discovered that I loved it. I became involved, spirited, and hooked on planning and attending all the events. Miss Moore turned me on to bio and showed me my love for human anatomy in 9 honors. Frau taught me that while Deutsche Schwer can be a ton of fun too. Levenger taught me about coming of age and had me do DJs that, although vocab wasn't required, you couldn't get 100% on the assignment unless you did it. All of these amazing first experiences motivated me to push on. Sophomore year came with even more new lemon jerkies. This was the first year I decided to play high school sports. I decided I wanted to take a break from hip-hop dance and give team sports a try. Coach West in water polo was the first coach I ever had that encouraged me to go out of my comfort zone. He put me in the cage as goalie, and although I was terrified, I loved it anyways. Then, Raven Rainey took me under her wing and grew me for the morning announcements. While it may have only been 1 day a week, in those few brief moments, the sheriff was born. I learned to overcome my fear of speaking in front of others and gained a confidence that was like nothing I'd had before. When swim season started with Coach M, a whole new world opened up to me. Not only was it a sport I loved, but it was with a team of people I bonded with and that understood me. Those people, that team, made me even more spirited and excited to be involved in the school. Junior year was when things really picked up. Not only on Wednesdays, I was now making announcements for the whole week. I became board representative, working with Izzy on a monthly basis, crafting speeches to accurately convey the happenings of our school at the monthly district board meetings. I was finally in the infamous A-Push class with its weekly basics and chapter notes, where my coach was my teacher and where I learned that I had a passion for history. Miss Gagno's AP Lang class taught me to love nonfiction books and that being educated about the real world is actually really interesting and important. I did yearbook for the first time and saw how hard being editor-in-chief really can be, but that it was also a complete blast, burning all the midnight oil to meet to the deadlines and making sure the yearbook was just right. Physics and Clarkson's gave me one of the toughest challenges I've ever faced. It was, by far, the most difficult class in my entire high school career. I'll never forget the time I cried in my car along with my lab partner, Charlotte, the night before our boat project was due, but we did make it across in what was probably the longest 3 minutes of my life. Then the year was up. Then senior year, this year, came around. New classes and new teachers. College application season came and went. Thank you, Miss M and Miss Gagno, for always reading my essays every time I sent them, sometimes the night they were due. Levine taught me all about the deepest levels of the human mind, and Levenger, who calmed the tides of the leadership class, allowed me and my fellow ASB officers to do our jobs with efficiency. My last spring break, and now. I'm in my last month of my last swim season, preparing to take my last round of AP tests, finally, and just finished putting the last touches on the yearbook. Then it's graduation. It's crazy to think that soon, the place I'm so familiar with, the place that has been my home for the past 4 years of my life, almost 1/4 of my entire life, won't be my home anymore. Won't be the place I go after waking up at 6 a.m. every single morning and leave at 5:30 after practice. The place I've made so many great memories, made so many amazing friendships, won't be where I am every single day. I could go on and on about every one of you, but I only have so much time. This is not just a speech as to why I would love to be voted a Student of the Year. It's for me to say thank you. A testament to all the teachers who loved and helped me, to all the activities that allowed me to come out of my shell, to the events that were so much fun, and to the friends who were there to support and push me. So thank you. Thank you for teaching me to try new things, for teaching me that only when I push myself can I evolve. Thank you for offering me a safe space, perfect fertile ground for me to grow. Thank you for making me love to learn and for forming me into the person I've become today, prepared and excited for the future. I hope you don't mind me checking in here and there to pick your brains for some words of wisdom and guidance, because God knows I'll need it. Without each and every one of you, none of this, none of me would have been possible. So thank you, and I love you all.
Thank you, Jackson. At this time, Student of the Year nominee, Ms. Zia Calpito.
Sorry, I'm a bit short, so, all right. Okay. Hi, good morning, or actually good afternoon. It says Zia up there, but I go by Zay. And I'm absolutely honored to be here today as a nominee for Rodriguez Student or Senior of the Year. First, I'd like to thank all the wonderful teachers who have pushed us to learn and succeed. And thank you to all the wonderful parents. They're not here, but they're the ones who told us to get those good grades, but also some good sleep. Thank you to Mr. Isidore, who's been a wonderful guiding voice, booming from the speakers every morning. And I guess if we're gonna go along that same thing, thank you for Jackson and Hannah for the announcements, right? Finally, I want to thank Rodriguez High School as a whole. The Rod Squad has given me so much. Friends, values, knowledge, skills, and passions. Most importantly though, I'd like to thank it for making me fail over and over and over again. Let me elaborate. If you look Rod up on Wikipedia, obviously the world's most trustworthy source of information, you'll see that Rod's motto is failure is not an option. It's the tagline from the 1995 film Apollo 13. I didn't even know high schools could get mottos from movies. I mean, it's better from the other tagline, Houston, we have a problem. I mean, can you imagine that being our motto? That would suck. But this brings me back to why I thank Rodriguez for making me fail. Rod is absolutely correct in saying failure is not an option. Instead, it's a necessity for every single successful, thriving person. I know it's a rather unorthodox way of interpreting the quote, but I'll get there. Every single student in this class has undoubtedly experienced their own version of failure. Failure, like our class, is diverse. Perhaps some people have failed a test, and maybe some others have failed a whole class. Failure could also mean not doing well.
KB Nash, please go to your right. KB Nash, please go to your right.
Failure could also mean being interrupted in your speech. Failure could also mean, not placing at a tournament or an art show. And I've been there. I, for example, am so horrid at math, and my junior year was actually a nightmare because of math. And in fact, I'm pretty sure the majority of students in my math class suffered the same way I did. Sometimes our brain hurt so bad that we couldn't do simple addition. We ended up all bonding over this. A lot of us formed regular study groups and practiced the same problems together for hours. In the end, even if we couldn't remember the basic types of equations we were supposed to on the AP exam, we learned the true value of blood, sweat, and tears. Or actually, in our case, it was like eraser shavings, TI-84 calculators, and tears. I still remember those crinkly papers screaming in red. And that's just one example of my many failures. Other examples include the time I went to a speech tournament and actually gave the wrong speech, meaning I argued for the wrong person. And the second time, or another time rather, during gym, I tried diving for the volleyball, but ended up belly flopping onto the gym floor. That seriously hurt, just so you know. But we have to remember that persistence is key. Through all my endeavors in high school, whether it be art, music, forensics, or the like, failure has truly been the mother of every single award I've gotten and every single acknowledgement I've received. I am the best representation of a Rodriguez student, not because I am the most accomplished or intelligent or whatever, but because I am the most realistic. Every single senior has gone through high school the same way. We all failed, we all learned from all of you, and we all stood up and kept on running. Perhaps we've missed the mark, the chance to walk on the moon like in Apollo 13, but in the end we pick ourselves back up and march forward. The class of 2019 is determined, we are unwavering. And may all our futures be filled with bumps and obstacles because failure is never, ever, ever an option in the pursuit of prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you, Zaya. And now, Student of the Year nominee, Leah de los Santos.
I'm Leah. Good afternoon, staff of Rodriguez High School. I appreciate that some of you have nominated me for this title as a Student of the Year. It is an honor that has crossed my mind multiple times, but one I never really thought I'd be capable of achieving. So for that, I thank you for your input. Throughout my 4 years at Rodriguez, I've gotten to know different things that will help me in the future in college, as well as life itself. I've learned how to pick myself back up even when times are dark and hope is absent. I've learned how to manage my time and fight procrastination, mostly. And above all, I have learned to see the opportunities in front of me and take on challenges head first. High school was a matter of steps. First step into a larger school, first step into balancing AP and honor classes, first step of figuring out what works for you and what doesn't, and the first step of molding your future. These first steps have brought me great joy and great burden. For those who don't know me, I have 2 older sisters, both whom have completed their bachelor's degrees and taken their own paths into their future. And my parents, who settled in Hawaii after immigrating to the United States from the Philippines at young ages. Quickly after high school, they left behind their family and all their belongings to move to California, as they wanted to lead my siblings and I into a better life, and that they did. I learned a lot from my family: tenacity and perseverance, how to look at things from different perspectives, and with these characteristics, I've been able to maintain a 3.8 GPA throughout my high school years, juggle my place in an award-winning dance stage and competition, and contribute to our Lady Mustangs basketball program. It wasn't easy, and I don't doubt that college will be any different, but I refuse to give in to the temptations, and I refuse to withhold myself of the life I've always dreamed of. Helping others is what I've been good at. Since diaper days, I've always made sure my family was okay, and despite being the youngest, similar with my peers, my friends mean the world to me, and though I am one of the oldest of my friend group, I am definitely the smallest. But size never mattered in my eyes. Regardless of what I was going through, I sought out to help others, always. With that being a major belief in my life, I decided to pursue a major in the medical field. And although it is a little while from home, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas is where I plan to continue my schooling as a pre-med major in the College of Sciences. It is an honor to hold such a well-known major, but it is a greater honor to myself that I am getting this chance to make the world a little better. High school taught me more than just how to breeze by classes or get through the day. It taught me how to be myself and follow in what I believe in. And I've learned that if you stick with what you know and go after what you want, the outcomes are indefinite. So thank you, Rodriguez High, for these last 4 years. It's been one heck of a journey, but my time here is up.
Thank you, Leah. Our next Student of the Year nominee, Ms. Caitlin Harold.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Caitlin Harold, and first and foremost, I would like to express how much I value the teachers and staff who have given me support during my high school career. You've all been a major part of my success, and I couldn't have done it without you. That being said, I would now like the chance to represent Rodriguez going forward as Student of the Year for the class of 2019. I've been in leadership for 3 years now, and I'm currently the ASB Treasurer. I'm also the Vice President of our school's National Honor Society and Feminist Club, and a co-founder of the Robotics Club. I've also been a peer tutor for 3 years, and I'm involved in our school's theater program as both an actress and the assistant director for our production of Into the Woods, which you guys should come see. It's going to be great. Not only that, but I helped teach math and introduce incoming freshmen to Rod at the FSUSD Growth Mindset Summer Math Camp in 2017. But being a Mustang is more than being involved in the school community. Being a Mustang means being persevering, compassionate, dedicated, and accepting, being open to new ideas and different people while always striving for success. And I'd like to believe that my experiences at Rodriguez have allowed me to grow and live up to this standard. The teachers here have always encouraged me and challenged me, which has fostered a determination and passion that has allowed me to do more than I ever thought I could. When I completed the highest level math courses offered at Rodriguez, I enrolled in online self-paced courses in AP Calculus BC and Multivariable Calculus, the Johns Hopkins CTY program, which I completed in addition to my regular schoolwork. I've also maintained straight A's all 4 years and earned a 4.43 GPA while being involved in many extracurriculars, such as competitive dance and professional theater productions. Sometimes it meant doing Miss M's 8-push notes during our 5-minute break in the middle of a 5-hour rehearsal, but I made it happen. The support of you all and my parents has also showed me the joy one can have from helping others succeed, like when Miss M cried out of happiness when I got into my top choice college. Thank you. This has created a passion for helping others succeed during my high school career. I've been a dance instructor for the last 2 years at my studio and an assistant coach for the UC Davis C-STEM Girl Camp, where I got to work with middle school girls to promote female leadership and involvement in STEM by teaching them to code and leading leadership exercises. It was an amazing opportunity, and I'm happy to say I've been asked to come back for not 1, but 3 camps this summer. By far, though, I think this passion for helping others is best exemplified by the situation in our AP Calculus AB class this year. I'm the cadet teacher for that class, and despite some teachers urging me to move out of that class when we lost the regular teacher, I stayed. I couldn't accept that these amazing students could be left indefinitely without someone to teach them. Instead, I made lesson plans and worked alongside of two of Rod's amazing math teachers so that I could teach the class while the new teacher was found. Now they have an amazing new instructor, but if they need help, they still reach out to me. As for the future, my goal is to get through college, hopefully get a master's degree and more, and find a job that allows me to do what I love, math and helping others. I'm happy to say that the way that Rodriguez has impacted me has allowed me to get into my doctor's college, Stanford, and I'm planning on majoring in applied mathematics and economics when I attend this fall. No matter what I decide to do, though, I want you to know that I'm determined to make Rodriguez proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin. Our next nominee for Student of the Year is Ali Hussein.
Hi, my name is Ali Hussein. I was born in Pakistan, and I moved to the US when I was 15 years old. In Pakistan, I had no education because I'm deaf. When I came here to the US in 9th grade, I learned American Sign Language. I also learned English, math, PE, and science, and I fell in love with education. And I fell in love with learning. I also learned American Sign Language quickly through watching videos on YouTube and through other deaf students and friends. So through 4 years, I went from taking most of my classes with my DHH teacher only to fully mainstreamed classes in very challenging classes. I'm now taking Math 2, Economics and American Government, and English 12. And my life is so much better compared to life in Pakistan. English is my favorite subject because it's very important. It allows me to communicate with hearing people. I have a GPA of 3.2. I have almost all A's. And I'm taking classes at a community college. I'm president of my school's ASL club. And I have some work experience as well. I work with my cousin in the technology field in San Francisco. And I volunteer with an ASL class to teach hearing adults sign language. And I also watch their children while they're taking the class. So I help them learn sign language. I have a lot of responsibility and confidence. After high school, I plan to go to Ohlone Community College and then transfer to Harvard to get my master's degree in technology. And I want to get my PhD. I love education. I love teaching deaf and hearing people ASL. And I love helping other deaf people learn how to advocate for themselves. I want to see a world where hearing and deaf people can communicate together. I want to go into the technology field so that I can find a way for hearing and deaf people to learn how to communicate better with each other. And I enjoy playing cricket. And I always stay busy. And I like to be successful. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Ali. And our next Student of the Year nominee, Francisco Jackson.
Hello, I'm Francisco Jackson, and today I'm here to show how I'm different than most of the other candidates up here, and I hope you hear why from the speech. So, I could talk at great length about having a 4.2 GPA, or having taken 10 AP classes, and hopefully taking 10 AP tests soon. I could even talk about my love for pretty much every subject offered here at this school, from history to physics and then some more, or even my time at being 3 years on the men's varsity golf team and the co-captain of the golf team, or even not even mention my time as members of the Authors Anonymous Club and the National Honor Society Club, as well as my entire high school career being centered around the marching band and the jazz band, where I spent 2 years as the alto saxophone section leader, and most of my time spent at band competitions or participating in band fundraisers, as well as being the truck crew leader, which means I have to get there at 5:45 or 6 a.m. in the morning, and I stay as late as 12:30 a.m. the next morning. I could even talk about my great opportunity to work at a molecular physics company for an internship, thanks to some great doctors and thanks to my education here being physics related, or even my hopeful aspirations of getting a doctorate in astrophysics or becoming a future politician later on in life. You see, those are just bullet points on a long list of achievements, but I would like to instead focus on what makes an RHS student an RHS student. So first off, us students here are a bunch of persistent, stubborn, honest teenagers, as you all may well know. Now, I chose to say those 3 words, persistent, stubborn, and honest, for a specific reason. You see, we're honest because we could stand up here, use a bunch of big words, or even put on a charade of who we might be, and try and play off who we think we are. But we're not, we just are who we are. And we're persistent because no matter what life throws at us, we're all human. We all go through family challenges, relationship challenges, or outside forces, as well as even academic challenges, whether it's being that one math problem that we're so desperate to figure out, or even trying to figure out the ending to an ambiguous book, or if it has a Game of Thrones-like twist to it, we still try to figure it out. And we're also stubborn. We're stubborn to seem like we enjoy learning because we secretly really do enjoy learning. We just try to act like we're cool. And we're also stubborn because we don't like to not see our teachers. We just don't want to outwardly show that we're affectionate to you guys because we all love you. From the bottom of our heart, we do love you. That's not a joke. And I know personally, I've always enjoyed seeing each and every one of my teachers because you've all given me life lessons that I couldn't even complete in one speech. Through my 4 years being here, I've had 24 different teachers. I can't go through an entire list of 24 different people who have impacted my life. Because I've always been the quiet student in the back of the room who's gotten his work done, and I've enjoyed seeing each and every one of you every day I've come to school. And I know this speech is supposed to be about me and my accomplishments, but I use the term we a lot, because without what you teachers have done and impacted on us students, then there wouldn't be a we. And I know I'm not the smartest guy up here. I'm certainly having faced the most life struggles, but I am the most representative of the student persona here. I say that because I'm just more than a list of bullet points on an achievement list. I'm just like every other student. And I will say that you teachers have the second hardest job ever. You have to deal with teenagers. So from the bottom of my heart and from every nominee up here, thank you for having to deal with us.
Thank you, Francisco. Our next Student of the Year nominee, Ms. Jayla Pitts Glasgow.
Good evening, friends, faculty, and staff. For those who don't know me, my name is Jayla Pitts Glasgow, and what I'd like to do with this time is take you on a brief journey through my Rodriguez experience. I walked into these gates 4 years ago not knowing at all what to expect from high school. I took my first honors classes, networked with new people, enjoyed my first high school events, played basketball, and unexpectedly I was introduced to French. If I had to choose one word to describe my first year, I would pick discovery. After just 1 year at Rodriguez, I was able to broaden my horizon not only academically, but socially. In my second year here, I challenged myself by taking my first AP class and moving up to the varsity basketball team. Everything was going great until I severely injured my knee and had to be rushed to the emergency room where I was told I would have to endure a long and strenuous road to recovery, and also that my season was over and possibly my career. This was an extremely difficult time for me physically and mentally, but I still attended every game and practice my team had, If it wasn't for the incredible support of my peers, teachers, and the campus monitors, I don't think I would have had such a smooth recovery. Whether I needed to be released early from class or even just a ride down the elevator, I never felt alone, and for that I will forever thank you all. The word for my second year is adversity. Things didn't go how I expected them to, but I fought through with strong will and the support of those around me. My third year, I decided to challenge myself even further by taking 4 AP classes, joining Leap Crew, as well as skipping from French 2 to French 4, while maintaining a job at Foot Locker to help support my personal expenses. I also decided to begin tutoring elementary school children since I was no longer playing basketball. Junior year was packed with sleepless nights, constantly working to master material and perform the best I could in all of my classes. It was an adjustment for me to go from scholar student athlete to scholar working student, but nonetheless I prevailed. After my most academically challenging year to date, I got the amazing opportunity to travel to Europe with my peers and teachers. This trip changed my life and granted me the realization that the world is much larger than what we experience on a daily basis, and this is something I would have never otherwise had put into perspective. The word for my third year is growth. In this year, I challenged myself beyond anything I ever thought I could do, and I gained a sense of independence that will stick with me forever. In my final year here at Rodriguez, I have continued this growth by becoming active in Black Student Union and becoming one of the first presidents of our school's French Honor Society, where I want to make it a priority for the future of the organization to emphasize environmental ownership. I have completed over 70 hours of community service doing various things from spending weekends, making breakfast for those who are less fortunate, helping collect donations and organizing the store for teachers to get free supplies for the year, or even going to city council meetings to voice the issues that concern my generation. The word for my senior year is cognizance. While senior year has been flooded with college and scholarship applications, I wanted to make it a priority to give back to a community that has poured so much into me and made me the person I am today. Discovery, adversity, growth, and cognizance are my Rodriguez experience. I walked into these gates a young girl with no clue of what the future would hold, who I would be, or what I would do. I'm walking out of these gates a young woman on her way to Howard University in Washington, D.C. in the fall as a political science major. I then plan to attend law school to become a civil rights attorney and a political analyst. No matter where I go, I will never forget the love and care everyone here has shown me over the years. I couldn't have had a better group of people to share this journey with. Being a student here has enabled me with the tools I needed to be able to stand here and say I'm attending my dream college to pursue my dream career. I promise I'm going to make you proud because I'll always be a Mustang. Thank you for listening.
Is Mr. Noah Ross.
All right, hi everyone. Just wanted to say for those who don't know me, my name is Noah Ross, and I just wanted to thank you all for being here. For starters, I want to say I am truly blessed to be nominated for this award. I was fortunate enough to grow up in a community where I'm supported and given the best opportunity to succeed. I feel like I'm the best representation of an RHS student for a number of reasons. To me, just to be nominated is an honor, and I couldn't have done it without the support from my teachers and principals all the way from Milton Elementary School to Green Valley Middle School and now Rodriguez High School. My family has always been supportive and have sacrificed a lot for me to get to where I am to this day. They have taught me the importance of giving back, helping others, volunteering my time, and being a good role model. One of the ways I wanted to positively impact my community was to volunteer as an assistant coach for the U8 Boys Solano Soccer Club team. I wanted to teach them the game of soccer and what it was like being on a team. Being on a team, you learn certain lessons such as teamwork, communication, leadership, and having fun. I feel like those principles are important for the youth to understand. In return, by working with the youth, they taught me patience, leadership, and how to be a good mentor. As a member of the Black Student Union, I've attended community service events such as Hakeem Brown's Vallejo City Council meeting and the Coalition of Solano Black Organizations in Fairfield. By attending these events, me and some other club members came up with solutions for some of the issues that a lot of communities face, such as programs for the youth after school and job training for teenagers. I stand before you today as proof that hard work and dedication breeds good results. My 4.0 GPA is a result of the time and energy my teachers dedicated to teaching myself and my fellow classmates. An example of this, of an outstanding teacher, is my AP Biology teacher, Miss Moore. Miss Moore taught not only a good example for other students, but she was a teacher that went above and beyond to get students involved and interested in learning about science. On my athletic side, I was captain of my JV football team in my sophomore year as well, captain for varsity soccer for the past 3 years. I started my soccer career at Rodriguez High as a freshman on varsity. Now at first I was a little intimidated, but over the years it grew on me. I was awarded MEO Offensive Player of the Year and worked my way up to MEO Player of the Year. I also supported my fellow classmates in all the other sports that they participated in, and as well as going to their events. In closing, my future career is pending as we speak. I have multiple Division I offers to play college soccer and further my education at the next level. If selected, I would like to share something meaningful to my peers at graduation and encourage them in pursuing their best dreams to live their best lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Noah. Our next Student of the Year nominee, Siddhi Upadhyay.
My name is Siddhi Upadhyay. Some of you may know me as Sid Vicious, the nickname Mr. Ortiz gave me in chemistry. Mr. Clarkson knows me as the girl who sat like a gargoyle during her first physics test. That was not my proudest moment. If you are in robotics or have visited our club, you may know me as the Robot Queen. But I'm most recognized by the name Siddhi. How do you pronounce that? Whatever you know me by, hello. So I'm supposed to be giving a speech for Student of the Year where I talk about my 4-point-whatever GPA and how I volunteer as a digital privacy advocate for the humane tech community to promote the ethical implementation of technology. How I'm a swim team captain and how I graduated dance school after 12 years to become a teacher. How I founded the first robotics club at Rodriguez and all the other things that I put on my college applications that now make me wake up in a cold sweat at night. Instead, I'm going to talk about what I learned in high school. Now, I don't mean the War of 1812 was fought in 1812 kind of learn. Though, thanks to Miss M's amazing A-push class, I do know the true historical significance of that war. I mean, what I'm going to take away from here and apply for the rest of my life. Because that's what high school's for, to help you prepare for the rest of your life. Here, I learned that whether you're a Giants or an A's fan going to an elite college or choosing a different path, whether you're a Montague or a Capulet, a Sharp or a Jet, you are a human being, and you deserve to be treated with respect. You deserve to be respected and evaluated not by how you seem on the outside, but by your actions, your insights, and most importantly, what's in your heart. I learned that collaborating creates the most ludicrous, unheard of, and creative solutions to problems that end up working in the best ways and usually involve a lot of duct tape. But hey, the best innovations do. Collaboration allows us to find similarities in our differences and reach out to those who may not share the same views as us. Collaboration pushes us to meld ideas into eclectic avenues of exploration. Collaboration is going to let us reach the final frontier where no one has gone before. I learned that it takes courage to ask for help. And I would like to thank every single teacher I've had for helping me build the courage to say, I don't know this yet, but I will. I'm able to stand here with a list of achievements that I have, not because I am superhuman or because I am a perfect student, but because the people, you, that held the key to my education let me fall down, but also taught me how to get back up again, stronger and more prepared so that I could keep going. When I began high school, I avoided math like the plague. I would cry over my homework even when I was in 10th grade, and I would avoid the subject at all costs. But now I stand here as a senior, majoring in electrical engineering. This transformation did not simply occur because I willed myself to be better at something. It happened because you all, my teachers, helped me realize my potential. So I would like to end this speech with a thunderous applause, not from me, but for you. Because without Rodriguez High School and every one of you and every one of the people in this room, I would not be standing here where I am today. So thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Our next Student of the Year nominee is Mr. Angelo Velarde.
A lot of pressure and a lot of high expectations after all that. But anyway, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Angelo Velarde, and before I really get into this, I just want to let you guys know, thank you for giving me this opportunity to be here, and to be considered for the Student of the Year award is most definitely an honor and a privilege. So thank you to the teachers that nominated me for this award. It's really because of you guys and your willingness to go the extra mile for us is what inspires me to work harder and learn new things from you guys that I'll carry on for the rest of my life. So, when I first got this nomination, I was asked to answer just one question, and that question was, how are you the best representation of an RHS student? And I'm looking at all these nominees. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I can't claim that my qualifications will blow away the competition. I mean, I have a 4.0 GPA, but that's mediocre compared to these guys. I've done my volunteer work at the food bank, participated in extracurricular activities. I even held a job. And even though I feel like all this best represents me as a RHS student, it really doesn't set me apart. So what sets me apart, and what I think is unique and special about me, is my own drive and my work ethic. My work ethic and my own drive to succeed. Sorry about that. So being born and raised in the Philippines, I learned to appreciate what I have. To never take things for granted, because the very moment that you do, it's in that same moment that you learn to forget. Forget to appreciate and forget that the things you take for granted are the same things that other people desire and pray for. And so being able to live here and be in the position where I am today, it led me to develop a strong work ethic, because I was able to learn that nothing worth having comes easy. And on top of that, I'm always willing to go above and beyond to do the better job. Not to get an award or to get praise, but because you should approach everything in life with the mentality to succeed, work hard, and of course, to do the right thing. Looking back 4 years ago when I first came here to Rodriguez, there was this quote that I saw as a freshman during orientation, and that quote was, "Success in life is closing the gap and attaining your goals." Does that quote sound familiar to anybody? No? Well, that's the same quote that's posted in the very front of our school, right under the Mustang statue. And that's also the same quote that I still use and live by to this day. Because for me, I'm finally able to close that gap to that day that I'm finally able to more than just live the life I want, but also give the life that my parents wanted for me. They're the reasons why I'm here. And I know it may not seem important to you guys, but being able to attend this school, live in the U.S., speak English, and be in an environment with most of those students since I've moved here, it really does motivate me to do more. Because a 5-year-old boy living in the slums of the Philippines, he would never imagine a life like this. So, what makes me the best representation of an RHS student? Well, because I think that even with the accomplishments I made and my perseverance and drive to continue accomplishing, have and will lead me to success. It's why I'm up here today, along with 11 other nominees here today. And I don't say that all arrogantly. I mean, high high school stuff is tough, and we still have college to go, but I'm convinced I will be successful because I wouldn't allow any other option. And I think that goes beyond from being an RHS student. Thank you guys.